Hey Aquarius, what's going on? We are here with your reading, what you need to know for November. The first card we have out is Five of Pentacles. Immediately you can be feeling worried, especially in the beginning of the month. When we have Five of Pentacles, this can be, you can feel stressed out about a situation that you're in. You can be feeling stressed out about material stuff, about resources. When it comes to the Pentacles, this can be something like you can be worried about finances. This can be maybe you're not feeling the best health-wise, something's going on. This can be in a situation where you're wondering, do I have what I need? Or there can be some type of conflict of needs or conflict of interest even. Because we have the Ace of Pentacles, it generally speaks about something coming to fruition and something materializing. But when we have the Five of Pentacles, it can be a concern that we feel initially and maybe prior to something fully coming to fruition or fully materializing. I actually immediately want to clarify this Ace of Pentacles and see. Okay. Five of Pentacles can also be to not sure how something is going to work out, or even questioning that. Is this going to work out? Is that possible? But you can feel limited as well with Five of Pentacles. The Sun is coming out and it's clarifying Ace of Pentacles. You're going to have a breakthrough. Something feels challenging or hard to do, but I'm going to see it. What needs to happen is going to happen. Like for things to be all right. Don't worry. No need to worry. Okay, we have the High Priestess coming out next. High Priestess, and next to High Priestess is Knight of Pentacles. What this means is that you're going to be taking action in a way that's very intuitive. What this can mean is that when you take action, when you are going to take the next step, there can be a lot of tuning in, a lot of checking in, a lot of checking back. And this can also be an unconventional way that you do this, because when we have the High Priestess there, this can be guidance that you're getting, and it can be not a routine way of doing things. So there can be I'm tuning in and I'm checking in, and then my action is aligned with sort of the wisdom or the guidance that I'm receiving, or the insight, or my connection with my intuition, my connection with my higher self. I also want to clarify the Five of Pentacles as well, just to give more insight about that. Anxiety, blocking you from seeing what you need to see. Disconnected. Need to reflect on that. All for the Five of Pentacles. You want things to be a certain way. You have an intention for how you want things to be. What is taking place in the beginning of the month feels like it's different than how you intend things to be, different than how you want things to be. And it feels like you can skip all of this part and move into, how do I make what I want possible? How do I accomplish what I'm trying to do? But I'm seeing Five of Pentacles is kind of like you're in a situation that you don't want to be in, okay? Or that it's difficult, or if you had this, that would be easier then. It'll be one of those, okay? So Eight of Swords will be that initial, now I'm feeling stuck, I don't know what to do. And also too, it can be a time where you feel anxious, or when your thoughts are getting really loud, and then it doesn't allow you to see things clearly. Two of Swords. Then as a like defense mechanism and in trying to cope, we have Five of Swords, which can mean like you get like a chip on your shoulder, or you sort of shut yourself down emotionally to try to cope with this or deal with this, or you push things away, or you sort of seclude yourself. Not so much in a way where it's like trying to find answers, but more so in a way of isolating yourself further. In an attempt to work something out. Having Hermit there is about needing to find answers, but it can feel like you have to sort of push through a lot of your ego stuff that's popping up that can confuse things and blur the line between ego and intuition. It can kind of shut that down. And that's why it feels like it's important, because having Ace of Pentacles and having High Priestess feels very much like guidance materializes and is very apparent, but you have to be tuned in and connected in here to connect with the High Priestess. But Five of Swords is what disconnects you here. And so if that's happening, it's like you're not going to get the message, and then the thing that will help this situation to change and to evolve, you're like not going to be there getting what you need to get, meaning you're not going to receive. So you need to make sure that you stay open to receiving. Interesting. Five of Swords is going in with Justice. Maybe you feel like what comes up for you is justified. For those of you that this ends up being something going on between you and another person, or just your situation in general, having Five of Swords can be one of those times that it's more difficult to work with, because in your head, your rationale can feel like it's justified that I'd be feeling like this, but it can also be not helpful. So that's not to say that it's not justified for you to be in the Five of Swords. And also it's to say that that may not be the most helpful state of mind for you to be in, because it's creating discord. So how do you be making heart-led moves? One where you are really, you can feel with a Five of Pentacles, this is not ideal. Five of Pentacles can also be like, I don't feel like my needs are being met. In some ways, in many ways, in one way, whatever it is, it's going to come down to that, because we have Pentacles here. So there will be like needs not being met. Having Ace of Pentacles shows that there's supposed to be a renewal, or like a clean slate, or like everything goes back to zero, like it's zeroed out or it's evened out. And then having High Priestess there will be in that being able to reconnect with how you feel, because as much as High Priestess, right, it's like your divine wisdom and your divine knowing, but it's not just something that connects with your third eye in no other place. It connects with your heart, because High Priestess is connected with the moon, which is connected with your feeling, which is connected with your heart chakra. And so in order for you to make moves that are going to be prosperous for you, you need to be connected with that. But when you feel like my needs are not being met, it can be very easy to like turn cold or to turn that off or to disconnect. However, in order to get the guidance that you need to be connected here. So you know what moves to be making so that you can prosper. And so that's something that you definitely want to be mindful, especially in the beginning of the month. Because Ace of Pentacles makes it seem like, hey, there can be a restart. Hey, there can be a clean slate here. And because we have the High Priestess, I imagine like on a level of feeling it can be like that. And then you can like march along and do what you're doing. But starting off with that Five of Pentacles can be that something is going on here that really does need to be reconciled. And maybe there's a fear of something, and anxiety. See your personal power as being involved in this? Yes. Nine of Swords is wanting to come out reversed, which can mean actually letting go of fears. Mixed feelings stepping into the next cycle. When you get out of your head and into your feeling, it can feel congested and it can feel confusing initially. So you can feel like I'm having this new chapter right now and I'm starting off feeling lost, or I'm starting off feeling confused, or I'm starting off with a lot of stuff going on and I don't really know, I don't feel like there's clarity to it. Some of you has to do with a relationship or living situation. Striving for harmony, striving for stability, and figuring out how to meet your needs. Yeah, this definitely is about your needs not being met. I feel like even on a basic level, you can feel like that, because we start with Five of Pentacles and we end so far with Queen of Pentacles. And so that's going to be a feeling like there's some type of conflict or there's some type of issue, because it's a 5. So it's going to be associated with change. Situations that feel so uncomfortable that you say, I don't want to stay in this, until you're motivated to change it. So that's why 5s are connected with change. So it's a square, it's a conflict. So this can be a conflict having to do with your needs being met in your personal life, something having to do with your personal life. So in your personal life, it can be your personal relationships, home situations, your body, things of that nature. Any realm connected with you in your personal life, I see Queen of Pentacles being connected with. And you saying, if things are like this, then I feel like I'm taken care of, or I'm able to take care of myself, whatever you need. For your basic needs too, because Queen of Pentacles is very just your basic stuff, at least, that you need. Having Knight of Pentacles above Queen of Pentacles is about making sure that you're taking steps that will lead to you feeling like you're taking care of yourself and that your needs are being met. And I wonder too if this has been a fear about your needs not being met. And about what's going to be happening. So that's going on there. So you can feel like on On sort of like a more material level, pentacle level, you can feel like this is something that is a problem and it needs to be addressed. Now, having Ace of Pentacles and then having Seven of Cups can be, I'm trying to figure out and wade through this experience that I'm having where I'm feeling a lot of stuff and doing what I can to make sense of it. So there's a lot of wading through that. Then having High Priestess and having Four of Wands, this is about wanting to emotionally feel at peace and like things are harmonious and that there is stability for you emotionally rather than something fluctuating. This is like, how do I get to a place where I feel at peace and where I feel harmonious with myself from a place of feeling? Once I sort of undress, like these are my values. This is what I feel like my needs are not being met. So this is what I'm seeing is not working. Now I'm undressing my fears that are associated with this, my concerns that are associated with this. What's bothering me so much about this? Then we step into the next part of the chapter. So you can feel like something has happened where you're like, my needs are not being met. The next chapter is trying to figure out what's going on as far as what you're feeling. Once you make sense of what you're feeling, then you can know this is what I need to do for things to feel like they're supposed to feel, for things to be okay. Man, I feel like the time passed so quickly. I feel like we're only 4 minutes into this. So this new chapter is about trying to make sense of what you're feeling. Having the High Priestess there, this is about really tuning in so you can make sense of it and use your own cosmic divine consciousness intelligence to tune into yourself and what your intuition is telling you, what your feelings are telling you, to make sense of things so you can know, how do I need things to be in order for me to feel like things are okay and that I'm not coming at this from a place of lack? What would allow me to feel this sense of stability, that I can lean on this, that this feels supportive to me? Because I'm not feeling supportive. We don't start off feeling supported. We start off feeling like I'm not feeling supported. And now I feel very stuck in my head because of that. Some of you, this can even be like a situation that happened and then jumping into, I feel like this happens actually sometime in October, and then when November starts being like, I just need to make sense of everything that I'm feeling. So you can feel like you are aligned with what your moon needs. So this can be tapping into what you need on a level of the experience you're feeling about your experience, what you need to feel like this is stable or this is okay or things can work like this. How do you need things to be if you can look at things the way they are and say this works the way that things are? And what are all the ways that that's not happening? Again, if you look at a situation and you're in it and you say, this is good the way that this is functioning, and you like genuinely feel that way, and you compare that to what's been happening, how do you get from there to here? What needs to happen? And then that will inform you of the steps that need to be taken for yourself. So it's going to be a breakdown of all of that. So instead of pushing away things and being like, I just want my feelings to make sense, you have to figure out like, what are they communicating with you? Every feeling has a message that it's carrying with it. Every fear has a message that it's carrying with it. Every anxiety, just all of this stuff that's going on for you and your experience. This can feel like some heavy work that needs to be done, but it's so you can feel good about how things are, because it's going to feel like it's in alignment. And actively taking those steps, because ending this part of the read, when we have Knight of Pentacles and we have Queen of Pentacles, this is about making moves for yourself so you can feel like your needs are being met, and so you can feel like things are stable in the way that you need it to be. So you don't feel like you're fluctuating so much emotionally. So you feel like you can sort of remain level, and then things can go deeper and deeper and deeper, rather than I'm spending all of my energy just trying to get back to a normal state, and I can't even go deeper than that. And you can such a process here. If you feel like your basic needs are not being met, you can feel like you're spending all your time trying to regulate, and that it's not about even building connection. It's like all about regulating. And maybe you don't want it to be all about regulating anymore. Maybe you want the regulation to just be there, which this is a process to having it be like that. So then you can go even deeper. But if things are dysregulated, you're not going to be able to go deeper. So you can feel like on a deeper level too, that's also lacking as well, because all the energy you're putting in is just to stabilize, which will be necessary initially, and then you'll be able to go further into it. And this is what needs to change so that you can feel like that works. So you can look at things and say, if they stay like this, that's good with me. Rather than, if they stay like this, that is definitely not good with me. Because you can definitely be feeling like I'm missing that sense of things functioning properly. And I need to go through all the stuff that I'm feeling to know the proper next steps so they're effectively going to secure stability for me. And that's what this new chapter is about for yourself. And going from being only in your head to dropping into how you're feeling and breaking it down so it makes sense, so you know clearly and obviously the steps that you need to take for yourself. And we have Pentacles here, so this is basic, like, what are you prioritizing? What are you spending your time doing? Are you checking in and asking yourself, like, it's going to be those types of things that have to do with on a day-to-day basis, because we have Pentacles here. How are you showing up for yourself? And are you supplying something that is leading more to instability? And also too, when it comes to your, let's say your energetic resources that you have, are you investing them in things that bring stability or something else? And then feeling like you're lacking because of it. In a state of lack because of that. Once this is broken down, it helps guide you as far as how to take action in a way where that will then lead to what you want, rather than feeling like I don't even know what to do here and none of this is making sense to me. And then you don't know which step is better than the next as far as leading to where you want it to go. Taking a step away from anything that's going to be depleting your ability to think clearly, to see clearly, to center. I want to say this too. I'm seeing that you've been showing up and you've been putting in effort. This feels like needing to make sure that when you're taking steps that they're cultivating what you want it to cultivate, and that's why this checking in needs to happen. So I'm not looking at this and being like, you haven't been doing anything. Like, I'm seeing all of this work that you've been putting in. I'm seeing all this showing up. You can feel really tired at this point. The way that I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles look is like kind of exhausted, actually. And it's not like I put in all this effort and nothing comes of it. It's like you need to be taking the right steps. Because if you're taking steps that don't put the bricks to build the building, and you're doing all of this stuff and using all this energy, and then you're looking at the building and being like, there are no bricks there, it's because you haven't been putting bricks on it. You've been doing something else. So this is about making sure that there's a connection between what you're trying to build and how you're using your energy in your personal life. Because it feels like this all comes back to that. And I'm seeing your moon energy also be really important to this as well. So you need to be nurturing and feeding that too, so you can feel like things are functioning the way that you need them to, on a level of feeling, like how you feel about your experience. Emotional balance and reciprocity can be part of this as well. How you are feeding that. There can be like a bit of an emotional or psychological break that you take to really touch base and ask yourself what you need. So then you feel like you can show up fully, and then also if you're showing up and there's some type of exchange, that it feels balanced. Rather than feeling like there's an inequality. Because I'm definitely seeing there be room for you to do what you want to do here to make that happen. Meaning how you would see things as being ideal, comfortable, functioning well, that's possible. A step in this, again, I want to say, can be you taking a step back from stuff that depletes your energy and doesn't allow you to see or think clearly because it's disruptive to your process. There can be a taking a step back to figure things out and problem solve. I keep seeing a lot of anxiety though, or like a lot of concern, or a lot of like getting stuck in your head, or overthinking, or maybe feeling kind of overwhelmed. What you want is possible. It feels like there is some type of, there's a change on the emotional front that's going to be coming up, but that means when we have this energy, it means that you're not just hearing what's being communicated with you, but that you're also understanding it and then applying it. Because if you're not applying, like, you can hear things and you can read things that are helpful and you can listen to stuff that's helpful, but you're not going to get to experience the effects of it if you're not applying any of it. And so the application is really important, and it feels like there are going to be changes that happen when you're applying what maybe you haven't been applying fully. And really give yourself this chance. Especially to see that what you want and what feels like good enough for you, it really is possible. It's not at all out of reach. It's just, you don't want to be misinformed by saying like, I'm doing all of this and it still doesn't get what I want it to do, or like manifest what I want it to manifest. Like, you have to make sure that you're taking the right steps. Again, like if you're building a structure, you have to make sure the steps that you're taking are putting the bricks where they're supposed to go, and don't misconstrue taking steps elsewhere and then looking at the building and saying, why isn't anything happening to it? I'm putting in all this work. Like, you are putting in energy. You just have to make sure that it's for the right thing. Well, when I say right thing, I mean the thing that you're trying to build. You have to make sure that that's where you're putting the bricks. Because I'm definitely seeing you put bricks places. You just have to make sure that it's like going towards a structure that you want to support. And it can feel really exhausting and also not rewarding when you're putting bricks elsewhere unknowingly, because it's not like you do this on purpose. It's not like we do this on purpose. And then you look around and you're like, nothing's happening and I'm putting in all this effort. It's like all work and no reward at all. But you will see that when you're putting in the efforts into the structure, that then you'll see things build up and then you'll feel very pleased with that. And it will encourage you to keep doing that too. Not get distracted putting your bricks elsewhere. Or neglecting your own building because you're helping somebody else and not working also on behalf of yourself. So there can also be stuff about boundaries that comes up here too. This is going to be an investment in you and in yourself that's going to be happening. No matter which way you cut it or what you end up doing, this chapter is about investing in you. This chapter is about you. And supportive of you. And helping you to connect with yourself and see that when you're following your inner wisdom, when you are following your inner guidance and your inner light, it is going to be very supportive of you and you will feel very, very happy with how things pan out. And I think that you're in a period right now, we're in a feeling right now, especially those of you that you're watching this towards the beginning of the month. It's a position where you're like, I don't want things to be like this. They need to change. And that will motivate you to do this now. Okay? All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.